Imagine, just for a second, that the physical world you walk through every single day isn't actually some fixed external environment that you're just reacting to. I mean, what if the buildings, the circumstances, the people, what if none of it is just happening? What if, instead, it's all a projection, like a vast, mysterious, and absolutely perfect mirror reflecting a deeply hidden source? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a seriously mind-bending philosophical premise that sits right at the heart of how we experience life, the idea that reality is a direct projection of consciousness. So, what if the world isn't happening to you, but coming from you? That completely flips our entire worldview upside down, right? We're so used to thinking of ourselves as these tiny observers in a massive, chaotic universe, totally at the mercy of outside forces. But the source material we're digging into today argues the exact opposite. It says that everything visible, your entire reality, the whole shebang, is actually just objectified consciousness. Basically, it's your inner world pushed out into three-dimensional space. Okay, let's dive into this. We're unlocking the profound wisdom inside Neville Goddard's esoteric classic, Feeling is the Secret. Now, this was written and published back in 1944, which, was an era completely dominated by global conflict and uncertainty. But Goddard didn't waste time on philosophical fluff or super complex theories. Instead, he handed readers a direct, razor-sharp manual on the actual mechanics of reality creation. It's a remarkably short book, but its impact is absolutely colossal. He's practically daring us to test his claims and see the tangible results for ourselves. To really discover the secret of creation, Goddard tells us we've got to understand this one fundamental definition first. Consciousness is the cause, as well as the substance of the entire world. It is the one and only reality. And listen, he isn't speaking figuratively here, he means it literally. If you want to change the world around you, you can't just manipulate the outside. Trying to change the world by altering things out there is kind of like trying to change your reflection by smoshing the mirror. It doesn't work. You have to go straight to the singular substance that makes up everything, which is your consciousness. Now, Goddard breaks down the machinery of this consciousness into two very distinct but cooperating parts. On one side, you've got the conscious mind. This is the personal, selective, generating part, what he calls the male aspect or the realm of cause. Then on the other side, you have the subconscious mind. This part is completely impersonal, non-selective, and deeply receptive. He calls this the female aspect, the womb of creation, the realm of effect. So the conscious mind chooses an idea, and the subconscious mind just accepts it without question, getting right to work to give it physical form. And this beautifully illustrates the exact mechanism of creation. It's essentially a seamless four-step sequence. Step 1, an idea is conceived in the conscious mind. Step 2, that idea is felt. Step 3, the subconscious mind receives and accepts it. And finally, Step 4, the subconscious objectifies that idea right into reality. Think of your conscious mind like a gardener. While you're awake, you are carefully, or let's be honest, sometimes carelessly, selecting seeds. Your subconscious is the rich, fertile soil. Whatever seed you drop in there, the soil is going to faithfully grow it. It doesn't judge whether the seed is a beautiful flower or a toxic weed. It just gives it form. If you plant fear, it grows fear. If you plant success, it grows success. But how exactly do you get the seed into the soil? Well, here is the profound secret. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. Feeling is literally the one and only medium that connects the conscious and the subconscious. You can think about something all day long, you can repeat affirmations until you're blue in the face, but until you actually feel it to be true, it's not going to impress the subconscious. But once it is felt, whether that feeling is good, bad, or totally indifferent, it absolutely must be expressed in your world. So the crucial point is control of your feeling is absolutely vital. If we just wander through life without controlling our feelings, we easily and accidentally impress our subconscious with some highly undesirable states. Goddard warns that our bodies are essentially emotional filters. Suppressed emotions, dwelling on past failures, or fixating on the imperfections of ourselves and others, these are the root causes of all disease, literally dis-ease, both in our physical bodies and in our surrounding environment. You've got to train yourself to think feelingly only on the state you actually desire to realize. The two gateways, sleep and prayer. So if feeling is the secret language of the subconscious, how do we actually speak to it? Let's look at the first natural gateway, sleep. Sleep occupies a massive 1/3 of our stay on Earth. It's the natural daily door where the conscious and subconscious minds are creatively joined. It's that special time when the conscious mind steps away from the noisy, sensory world to seek out the deep subconscious. And understanding what happens in this 1/3 of our lives dictates exactly what happens in the waking 2/3. This is exactly why your mood just prior to sleep is so incredibly critical. Once you fall asleep, you have zero freedom of choice. Your entire slumber is strictly dominated by your last waking concept of yourself. The subconscious sees you exactly as you feel yourself to be right before you drift off. So if you go to sleep feeling anxious, frustrated, or focused on some glaring failure from the day, you are effectively handing those blueprints directly to your subconscious, instructing it to build your tomorrow out of those exact same materials. Not great, right? To take control of this, Goddard gives us a precise, highly actionable pre-sleep routine. Tonight, when you get into bed, lie flat on your back with your head level with your body. Disregard all the outward appearances of your current life. Instead, ask yourself this specific question: how would I feel if my wish were realized? Just let that specific feeling of satisfaction, success, or quiet joy completely wash over you. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then simply allow yourself to quietly drift into sleep, wrapped entirely in that exact emotion. The second gateway Goddard outlines is prayer. But hold on, he isn't talking about begging an external deity for a favor from afar. He actually defines prayer as an illusion of sleep. It's a profound state of relaxation and receptivity that basically turns down the volume on the loud, demanding impressions of the outer physical world. It renders your mind deeply receptive to suggestions coming from within. Think of it as a waking state that's akin to the very edge of sleep, where the door to the subconscious is left just slightly ajar. So here's how you master this art of prayer. First things first, shut out the physical senses. Create a passive, comfortable state of reverie, maybe by relaxing in a comfortable chair or lying on a bed until you feel this pleasant, heavy lassitude. Then vividly imagine your wish fulfilled. Not how it will happen, just the end result. And here's the most important part. You have to yield without forcing or effort. In attempting to impress the subconscious, effort is totally fatal. If you're trying too hard to feel something, your subconscious registers the trying and the lack of the thing rather than the wish itself. You just have to simply yield to the feeling of the accomplished fact. What you should absolutely take away from this explainer today is how all of this applies directly and practically to your everyday life. Sensation precedes manifestation. You are an eternal dreamer, and your visible world is really just an emotional filter mirroring your prevalent inner emotions. Like Goddard famously states, you never attract that which you want. You always attract that which you are. Or, well, more accurately, that which you are persistently conscious of being. It all boils down to this timeless, universal correspondence. As within, so without. You have no one to change but yourself. By shifting your internal state, by capturing and really holding the feeling of your realized wish, you literally change the pattern from which your external world is fashioned. A change of feeling is, quite literally, a change of destiny. It's a real game changer. Which brings us to a very real, very immediate challenge for you to test out. You have the secret now. You know for sure that reality is merely a projection of your consciousness, and that feeling is the tool that shapes it. So I leave you with this final, vital question. Who will you feel yourself to be when you go to sleep tonight?